So, welcome back again. As we have already uploaded a video in which I referred to the Art and Culture book of NCRT Class 11. Now, I'm going to refer to the coaching notes that belongs to the editorial, and I will go through the Mauryan art topic once again so that if I have left something in that particular book is something is left, then it can be found here and we can revise as well. After that we will go for answer writing. So let me read about you. Before writing, before doing the answer writing, we have to subcategorize the entire answer into three parts, as you all know, that is introduction, body, and conclusion. So in the body part, what we will do that we will mention certain aspects of the Mauryan art, ranging like the what were the characteristics of Mauryan art. Like it was divided into two parts: poetical art, that is related to the court art, and the folk art, that was related to the commoners. So after that, we will also have a look about the foreign influence on Mauryan art. Then the third part is how does Maurya art reflect the socio-economic life of that time? Association with Buddha, was it associated with Buddhism or not? So we get to see a great deal of influence of Buddhism in the Mauryan art. The influence of Maurya art in Bihar, as we all know that the seat of the power of the Mauryan empire was in Patliputra. So obviously it will have a influence in Bihar as well. Then we will also do the critical analysis related to that particular topic, and then we will conclude our answer. So let me read line by line about the Mauryan art. So in the introduction is like that: as a reflection of the social and economic prosperity of the Mauryas, Maurya art is an excellent example of ancient and magnificent art of India. This art style, which basically exists as a state art style, also reflects the distinctive folk art. The basis of the artistic prosperity of the Mauryas was the creation of a prosperous and economically strong uh, Mauryan Empire as a result of the political unification. Maurya art, with its artistic characteristics, reflect the socio-economic aspects of the contemporary India quite accurately and practically. Maurya art has an divisive significance in the history because at the time the use of stone along with clay or wood in art provided stability and continuity. As we all know that the major share of the art and architecture of the Maurya period consists of the stone. That gives a longevity to the sustenance of such art and architecture, and we still get to see the reminiscences of these architectures as well as the arts. So now the characteristics of Maurya art, as we have already uh, got to know that it was subcategorized into two part: the poetical or court art, or and the folk art. So under the poetical or court art, it can be divided into four parts. The first one is the palaces that were related to the kings, the pillar, stupa, and vihar. In under the folk art, it is divided into two parts again. First is the pottery, and second one is the sculpture. The sculpture is subdivided into two parts. The first one is animal figure on pillar, that is the capital portion along with the abacus, and the second one is the sculptures made by independent artist. So apart from the patronage of the rich wealthy men or the kings, the artist used to do some independent art and sculpture as well. So we will get to know about that also. Now the poetical art, court art. If you talk about the location of some prominent palaces, then we will there is evidence of palace related to the Mauryan Empire in the Kumrar, that is nowadays in Patna. So structural feature, if you talk about it, then it was built to reflect the grandeur of this empire. Chandragupta's palace and capital was built in Patliputra. Its vastness can be estimated from the remains of this assembly building. This assembly hall was a huge hall with many pillars. 84 stone pillars have been found in this building. This palace was mainly built of wood. It was made of wood. That's why the wood remains are not found, because it was built in the third century or fourth century BC. Fourth century BC. So wood are can easily be damaged. So there are less evidence of wooden remains that can be found in that particular Kumrar region. The pillars of the building were made of red sandstone and were brightly polished. But we get to find the pillars that are made of stones, red sandstone. So they are still available over there, and there were 84 stone pillars said to be there. Emperor Asoka expanded this wooden palace by using stone. So Asoka replaced those wooden palaces using stones. Then assembly hall. Among the many huge chambers inside the palace, the 80 pillared assembly hall is particularly noteworthy. Now, the assembly hall, we have already read about it. Then, comments of various travelers' personalities regarding the palaces. So, there were few foreign travelers that visited that particular Mauryan Empire, and few travelers also visited that place even after the Mauryan Empire during the Gupta period and all. So, if you talk about the Arian was a Greek traveler. He said about it that even the palaces at Susa and Ekbatana cannot compete with the grandeur of Chandragupta Maurya's royal palace. Fahian, who was a Chinese traveler who came between during the reign of Chandragupta II, told that he came to India during the Gupta's dynasty ruler Chandragupta II, described the royal place as the built by the gods. Patanjali told praised Raj Prasad or praised palace. Patanjali told so. Then the pillar. These were built by Asoka to mark holy places related to the life of Buddha or to commemorate some great event. Most of the pillars contained articles related to the propagation of Dhamma or Asoka's government orders to the public. Various animal figures like lion, elephant, bull, etc. are found over the circular abacus at the top of the pillars. On the pillar of Rampurva, that is in current West Champaran, Bihar, Natua bull is standing in a fine posture, Lalit Mudra, while on the pillar of the Loria Nandangarh, a lion is sitting. So both is in the West Champaran currently. The Maurya period pillar head found in Sarnath, which is famous by the name of the lion capital of Asoka, is the best example of the sculpture traditions of the Maurya period. Large statues of four roaring elephants are installed on its circular altar, and in the lower part of that altar, horse, bull, deer, etc., have been carved in dynamic posture, which clearly shows the excellent skill of the sculpture. I think bull is not carved in that Sarnath pillar. There are four animals that is found over there. And the first one is bull, horse, elephant, and lion. There is no any evidence of deer is seen there, so I think it's written by mistake. This pillar top is the standard symbol of Dhammachakra Pravartan and marks a great historical event in the life of Buddha. All these pillars are completely independent in themselves and are standing under the open sky. So it is freestanding. It was not erected with the support of something. It was one stone pillar. It is also our national symbol. That lion capital is our state symbol as well, national symbol. Then if you talk about the pillar, there were two type of pillar, script pillar and script column. If you talk about the script pillar, Dhamma scripts are engraved on them. This type of pillars have been found from places like Delhi, Meerut, Sarnath, Sanchi, Rampurwa. If you talk about the simple column, there were normal columns. This type of pillars have been found from the places like Basad, Kosra. And if you talk about the inscriptions that was carved out on those pillars, there were four languages that were used. Like in the North India, uh, Pali was used. In the Western India, Prakrit was used. And if you talk about the further northwestern part, then Greek and Aramaic language was used. Some structural features associated with the pillars was that the pillars are made of red sandstone of Chunar. The height of the pillar is from 35 feet to 50 feet and the weight is around 50 tons. A special kind of polishing has been done on these pillars which is called OP, due to which their sign remains the same even today. So the op type of polishing is done, and whose sign has remained even so. So it's very smooth and shiny surface. That were the features of those Mauryan arts. All the pillars are tall, well shaped, and monolithic with curved tops. These pillars have become progressively thinner from bottom to top. So in the bottom it is broader, and then as we proceed forward upward, then it becomes narrower. Shaft. Its width decreases from bottom to top. Then top. At the top, the animal figures carved on the pedestal above the gorge at the top of the animal are a testimony to the excellence of Mauryan art. So this is the figure in which this is the shaft, and there is a capital, and the abacus is there. The same and inverted lotus uh, sculpture is made here, and at the top of the uh, abacus there is a round shape or square shape platform is there, on which the capital is placed. The capital can be lion, bull, elephant, or some other animals. So this is the structure, basic structure of the pillars that were erected during the Mauryan period. Then stupa. Stupa is a word related to the Buddhist period. The literal meaning of the stupa is heap. In Pali text, it can be called thu or dhup, which later became stupa. The art of stupa construction was prevalent in India even before the Maurya period. So before Maurya period also, the art of stupa was prevalent, which reached its peak during the reign of Ashoka. At this time, by dividing the existing body remains and enshrining them in monuments, stupas began to be used for worship. So as I have already discussed, that stupa was mainly built upon the remains of the Gautam Buddha or relics of the Gautam Buddha. After the death of Buddha, 9 stupas were built, which include Rajgir, Vaisali, Kapilvastu, Alkappa, Ramgram, Pava, Kusinara, Bethpid, or Vethadipa, or Piplivan. Of these, 8 contained the relics of Buddha, while the ninth contained the vessel in which these relics were originally kept. The stupa of Sanchi was built with bricks during the time of Ashoka. So the stupa of Sanchi was built with bricks. So this is the feature of that particular stupa. Later, during the Sung Satvahan period, it was carved with stone, and other changes were made. So during the Sung and Satvahan period, it was carved with stone, and some other changes were also made. So again, this is the shape of the basic shape of the stupa. It is like dome shaped, and in that at the top of that the hermika is there. It is like we can say caged type, and then on the top of that hermika there is a tower shaped uh, feature which is called chhatri. And if you talk about that, this is a medhi. Medhi, this we can say it is a fencing on the circumambulatory path, and there is a staircase over there. And again, in the lower and the base of side, we still again have the circumambulatory path, and this circumambulatory path is again fenced with the vedika, and it is a gate through which we can enter into the premise of the stupa, and the gate is called Toran Dwar. So there are 4 gates in all the 4 directions through which we can enter in the stupa premise. So that's it, I think. Nothing left. So now we can talk about the features one by one. So Toran. Toran is along with the Vedika. Entrance gates are found on all 4 sides, which are called Toran gates. This is the main entrance of the stupa. Decoration predominates on the Toran gates of some stupas. The Torans of Sanchi has attractively carved figures of elephant riders, horse riders, and humans. Pradakshina Path, circumambulation path. It has been built to revolve around the stupa between the altars and the platforms. Altar means Vedika. There is a circumambulation path around the platform which is surrounded by a railing. During the Maurya period, the altar of the stupa located at Sanchi was made of wood. It was built of stone by the Sunga dynasty ruler Pushyamitra Sunga. Medhi. Medhi is a semicircular structure built on platforms called Medhi. It is a semicircular structure built on platforms. Then Anda. The semicircular part is called Anda, the inner roof of which was made of bricks and the outside was made of baked bricks. Hermika, there is a box like structure above the Anda in which the remains of Buddhas are kept. This is the most sacred place of the stupa. Chhatri are placed in the middle of the Hermika. Yasti is made to symbolize the three sides of the umbrella: faith, respect, and generosity. So it is just symbolic. Stupa is mainly symbolic. That Pradakshina Path or Medhi that symbolizes the earth that we live in, and the stupa symbolizes the universe. So it means that through the Medhi means the earth, we take a route and we travel towards the universe. So there is a lot of philosophical meanings associated with this stupas. Then, if you talk about the types of stupas, then there are four types of stupas mainly, like physical stupa, paribhogika stupa, preface stupa, resolved stupa. If you talk about the physical stupa, in this, the bones and bodily remains of the Buddha and his chief disciples were kept in the physical stupa. In paribhogika stupa, the items used by Buddha, arms, bowl, footpad, seat, etc., are kept. Then preface stupa. It was built as a memorial to events related to the life of Mahatma Buddha or at a place made sacred by his travels. And then resolved stupa. This type of stupa was built purely for worship. So there were four types of stupa that we read. Physical stupa that was related to the Gautam Buddha's relics, the relics of the his disciples. Paribhogika. Bhogika means the things that Bhogika means huge. So it was related to the items that were related to the Buddhas like the alms bowl, foot pad, seat, etc. So these things are kept inside the stupa. The third was the preface stupa, and it was built as a memorial to events related to the life of Mahatma Buddha. It was like symbolizing the life of the Mahatma Buddha or at the place where he had made visit. And the fourth is resolved stupa. It is symbolic in nature and it is mainly used for the worship. Then we will read about the vihar. So Guh Vihar was built by cutting rocks for the residence of Buddhist monks. So Vihar is mainly a residential place that was meant for the Buddhist monks. That's why our state Bihar uh, has got its name from that particular Vihar. So Vihar turned into Bihar. So structural features of the Vihar. During the time of Asoka and his grandson Dasratha, the hills of Barabar and Nagarjun were cut and houses were built for the Ajivikas. So there were two hills, Barabar and Nagarjuna, and these houses were built for the Ajivika sect. So apart from the Buddhism and Jainism, there were another sect there that was very popular those days, especially in the Bihar, was known as Ajivika. So for Ajivika sect, these caves were built. There were bright polishes on the roofs and wall of these caves. Inside the caves and the roofs, the polish was applied. That bright polish, same as that was done on the pillars of those Mauryan pillars related to the Ashoka. There were two chambers in the Sudama's cave. In the Sudama cave, there were two chambers. Barabar caves that we read, Barabar caves are subdivided into four caves. So these are, we can give the acronym like KSLV. So K stands for Karna Champad cave, Then S stands for Sudama ki Dari, L stands for Lomes Rishi cave, and V stands for Vishwakarma cave. So these were the four caves that were situated in the Barabar hills or Barabar cave. So here it is said that in the Sudamaj cave, that is in the Barabar hill, two chambers were there and their roofs were circular. The walls and the ceilings of both the chambers are polished like glass. So it was so finely polished that it's resembled like glass that you can see your feature in that polished walls. The architecture of Lomas Rishi cave is similar to that of the Sudamaj cave. The only difference is that its inner chamber is not square but oval. It is akin to the Sudama cave, the Lomas Rishi cave, but only difference is that the inner chamber of the Lomas Rishi cave is not oval in shape just like Sudama cave. It is instead no, it is not square in shape but oval in shape. So the Sudama's cave inner chamber was square in shape, but the inner chamber of the Lomas Rishi cave is oval in shape. Now Gopika cave in Nagarjuni group is in the shape of a tunnel. Gopika cave in Nagarjuni group is in the shape of a tunnel with two round mandap built at both ends. Of these, one seems to be a Garbhagriha Sanctum Sanctorum and the other a Mukh Mandap. It has all the characteristics of cave architecture of the Maurya period. Now we will read more about the Govi Vihar. Now we will summarize those whatever we read. So the Vihar located in the Barabar hill, the features were that these hills include Sudama and Karn Chaupar Vihar, which were built by Asoka. Asoka had given these caves to the Ajivak sect. Sudama caves in Barabar hill is the oldest cave monastery. Now the Nagarjuna hill. Nagarjuna hill, this caves monastery is built by Asoka's grandson Dasratha. So Barabar hill caves were built by Asoka, and it was donated further to the Ajivika sect. And the Nagarjuna hill cave was built by the grandson of the Asoka named Dasratha. Its main caves were Gopi cave, Lomas Rishi cave. These were the noteworthy caves. During the Lomas Rishi cave. Okay, got it. During the Maurya period, like that is 324 to 187 BC, various forms of art developed significantly. Solid evidence of artistic remains of this period still exist. On the basis of available artifacts, artists have divided the sculpture of the Maurya period into two categories: the royal and folk art styles. The main feature of which are as follows. Feature of the royal sculpture style. Under the royal sculpture style, the animal figure have been made on the top of the Asoka pillar. Among these, the shape of the Natua bull of the Rampurva and the lion of the Sarnath are special. The lion statue of Sarnath was adopted as the national symbol of India after independence due to its uniqueness. These statues are made by carving monolithic sandstone that were taken from Chunar, that is in present day Chandauli district in UP. Then the idols have been excellently polished and their sign remains intact even today. Special emphasis has been given on accuracy in the making of the idols. Special attention has been paid in enhancing its body parts, due to these, uh, due to which these animals statues appear alive. Due to royal patronage, the royal style of sculpture came to an end with the end of the Maurya dynasty. Then we talk about the sculptures. In Bihar, there are four locations from where we got to find about the sculptures related to the royal genesis. First is the Nandangarh, that is in Motihari, Bihar. Loria Ariraj in Motihari, Bihar, and Rampurwa, that is in West Champaran. So in the Nandangarh, animal figure was lion. In the Loria Ariraj, animal figure was bull. Rampurwa, animal figure was again bull. Key facts: most beautiful Maurya pillar were found in these places. Basar, in Basar, that is also lie in Bihar, the animal figure was lion. So only animal figure that is bull was found in Loria Ariraj location, which is in present day Motihari, East Champaran. In Uttar Pradesh, there is a place location called Sankissa. In this location, also the animal figure was lion. Then the features of folk art style, pottery. These were made by common people for their daily needs as well as for decorative purpose. Characteristics: northern black polished ware. So if you talk about the pottery, northern black polished ware was famous. And what are the characteristics of this pottery is that it is famous for shiny black polished surface. The surface used to be black but shiny. In Bihar, mostly found around Patliputra. Northern black polished ware (NBPW). This is the characteristic of the pottery of Mauryan period. Then the sculpture. Under this style, human-shaped statues of Yaksha Yakshini have been found. The idol of Yakshini obtained from the Jarganj of Patna is the best among them. This is located in Patna Museum. The statues of this period are made of brown sandstone. All the idols have been carved with great care and bright polish has been used. Religious influence is clearly visible on some sculpture of the Maurya period. Statues of two Jain Digambar Tirthankaraj have been found from Lohanipur in Patna, which are in Karyotsarg posture. The clothes and jewelry have been intricately carved. Okay. Carved in the decoration of the idols of Yaksha and Yakshini, found from the Mathura and Patna. Besides, the beauty of the body parts has also been taken care of. So, in the sculptures, the body parts, clothes, and jewelry all were taken care of, and the intricate sculpture is done on that to enhance the reality of that particular structure so that they can seem like they are alive. So these were the characteristics, and the most important and the common feature is that all the surfaces, be it the sculptures or the pillars or the caves, all were polished, or the potteries, including potteries. Apart from the monolithic statues, a large number of clay statues of various animals, birds, and men and women have been found from sites like Sarnath. A large number of clay statues of various animals, birds, and men and women have been found from sites like Sarnath, Kumrar, Basad, Kausambi, etc., which were prepared by gluing method using fingers or pinchi or by molding them in molds. So the place Didarganj, Patna, Bihar, the statue found is of Yakshini. The key features were Chamara Grahini Yakshini idol made of light brown sandstone, 5.5 feet statue, use of shiny polish. Subtle expression of female beauty was done, performed, then displayed. Then Base Nagar, Madhya Pradesh, Yakshini, 6.7 feet tall statue, face and arms fragmented, made of sandstone, brightly polished. Then Parkham in Mathura, Uttar Pradesh, Yaksha was found. 7 feet high, face and arms fragmented, costumes of the Maurya period, made of sandstone, use of shiny polish. Then Rajghat, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, Yaksha was found. And three-faced yaksha, one of the use of sandstone in construction process. So the polished surface as well as the sandstone, it was the common feature in all the sculptures or the pillars uh, all over the India, that day India, uh, Mauryan Empire during the Mauryan period. Apart from the above given sculptures, one other sculpture are also found under folk art. Bulandi Bagh, Patna, statue of woman and child found. Features feeling of motherhood and affection. Kalsi Dehradun, elephant statue was found there. The key features was that it was stone cut sculpture. Lohanipur, Patna, Jain Tirthankar statue were found. These Tirthankaras were naked, no arms, leg, and thigh was broken. Dholi, Odisha elephant statue are again found, just like the Kalsi in Dehradun. Artistic and natural construction of the trunk and legs. The trunk seems as if something is wrapped around it. Foreign influence on Mauryan art. Mauryan art is a unique example of Indian architecture, but many historians like John Marshall, Nihar Ranjan Rai, and Percy Brown believed it to be inspired by foreign influence. So, John Marshall, Nihar Ranjan Rai, and Percy Brown believed that it was influenced by foreign architecture and art, in relation to which they have given the following arguments. Due to the technique of bright polish on the pillars, bell design, and animal motifs at the top in Maurya art, Western scholars believe that it was inspired by Iranian art. Maurya sculpture, especially the Yakshini sculpture, was inspired by Greek Holstein art. So Yakshini art was inspired by the Greek Holstein art. Chandragupta Maurya's Raj Prasad was inspired by the palace of Persia. Ashoka's pillars are also available in Greek and Aramaic languages. To some extent, it is true that there was limited foreign influence on Maurya art, but this fact has a distinct identity in the entire world due to its original characteristics and unique expression of folk art. Critical analysis. Uh, Regarding Mauryan art, it is argued that there is a lot of foreign influence, Iranian influence on this art. But before reaching such a conclusion, it is necessary to evaluate the arguments for and against the concerned. So, Indian Mauryan pillar and Iranian pillar, we will distinguish both the characteristics of both of these pillars. So, if you talk about the Indian Mauryan pillar, the key features were the pillars were constructed independently from a single stone, that is of sandstone. Use of wood and stone in the royal palace. Pillar made of monolithic stone. Pillars are flat and smooth. Inverted lotus on the pillars. Animal figures on the top of pillar. Lack of base under the pillar. So there was no base. It was freestanding structure. Now, if you talk about the characteristics of Iranian pillar, the construction, the pillars are installed in huge buildings, mainly use of stone. The pillar was made by joining several stones. So it was not made of single stone, it was made of several stones. Pillar was cracked, inverted wheel on top of the pillar. This is the common feature. Human figure on top of pillar, where in the Mauryan pillar, the animal figure was on the top of the pillar. In the Iranian pillar, human figure is on the top of the pillar. So this is the distinction. Base of the post under the pillar. There is a base on the post under the pillar, whereas in the Mauryan pillar there is no evidence of base is found. The shapes of vine, rags, flowers, and leaves on the stem is found in the Iranian pillar. How does Maurya art reflect the contemporary socio-economic life? So, what we can get to know about the socio-economic life, if you see, have a look of the Mauryan art and architecture. So, art is a mirror of the socio-economic and cultural aspects of any civilization. The importance of the art of this era is unique in understanding the social and economic system of the Stone Age and Harappan civilization. Similarly, the importance of Maurya art is unique. Maurya art depicts the condition of socio-economic and cultural life of that time in the following manner. From the palace of Chandragupta Maurya, we realize the grandeur, building style, and economic prosperity of these Mauryan rulers. Ashoka's inscriptions, stupas, and cave. Ashoka's inscriptions, stupas, and cave constructions are important parts of Maurya art. Ashoka's inscriptions, stupas, and cave constructions, etc., are important parts of Maurya art. Inscriptions, stupas, and cave constructions. Okay. Then it gives a detailed description of the socio-economic aspect of the Then Maurya Empire, which we can see through the following chart. Information about socio and economic system from the art of Asoka period. The description of famine. Mahasthan and Sahagaura inscriptions talks about it. Evidence of ancestral monarchy. 10th inscriptions. First isolated Kalinga inscription. Condemnation of animal sacrifice. First inscription. Hospital for both humans and animals. Second inscription. Welfare works. Second, third, and sixth inscriptions. Description of government officials and religious system. Third inscription. Appointment of female Mahamatraj and spirit of secularism. 12th inscriptions. The language described in the inscription gives information about the contemporary Indian language, Brahmi, Kharoshti, Greek, and Aramaic inscriptions. Scriptures. Uh, Appointment of Dharma Mahamatraj, fifth inscription. Aban- Abandonment of war strategy by Asoka in the 13th inscriptions after the Kalinga War. Stupa and cave construction show the influence of Buddhism. Tax system of the Mauryas, Romindei inscription. Harmonious relation with foreign states, second and third, 13th inscriptions. The construction of caves on Barabar Hill and Nagarjuna Hill by Asoka and Dasratha for the Ajvikas shows the secular image of the Mauryan rulers. So Mauryan were secular because they were constructing pillars and stupas and chaityas for uh, Buddhist monks. They were also constructing cave and they donated it to the Ajivika sects. And there are also evidence of some Digambar monks statue are also found in the Mauryan period. So we can say that it was secular in nature, the Mauryan Empire. The limited foreign influence on Chandragupta's Raj Prasad and Asokan inscriptions indicates India's economic and cultural relation with Greece, Persia, and Central Asia during that period. Toys, utensils that is made of north black polished ware, statues of animals and birds, dance, acting, statues of Yakshini, etc. are an important feature of means of knowing the society. The art of the Mauryas, especially building construction, polishing of stones, sculpture. So the art of the Mauryas, especially building construction, polishing of stones, sculptures, etc., presents a better example of the technical and economic prosperity of the India. Association with the Buddhism. Influence of Buddhism. It is also noteworthy that Asoka had adopted Buddhism and made every possible effort to propagate it. Therefore, the influence of Buddhism is clearly reflected on the state art that flourished under state patronage. The pillars, stupas, chaityas, vedikas, guha viharas built by Asoka were inspired by the Buddhism. The lotus and animal figures on the pillar represents various symbols of Buddha's life. Vihara built in Barabar Hills and Nagarjuni Hills are also built to be the residence of Buddhist monks. The orders mentioned on the pillars are also impressed by the thoughts of Buddha. For example, Asoka has described non-violence, condemnation of animal sacrifice, preaching and religious journey on his pillars which was inspired by Buddhism. Apart from this, the influence of contemporary Buddhism is also visible on the idols of Yaksha and Yakshini created in folk art. Then influence of Mauryan art in Bihar. The art tradition in Bihar started from the Mauryan period, which further strengthened during the Gupta period and Pala period. So the art tradition is basically started from the Mauryan period and which was further carried onward to the Gupta period and Pala period. The remains of the royal palace of the Mauryan period still exist as a tourist center in Patna, that is in Kumrar. The pillars built by the Asoka are still displayed as cultural heritage in Loria Riraj, Loria Nandangad in Bihar. Kuvihar built in Barabar Caves and Nagarjuna Hills. Nagarjuna Hills in Jahanabad is a cultural heritage with tourism. So Vihar built in Barabar and Nagarjuna Hills in Jahanabad is a cultural heritage with tourism. Various state and folk arts of the Mauryan period made Bihar a rich place from the point of view of art. Then this is the map of Bihar in which the notable places are mentioned like that Kumrar Palace that is in Patna, then Minor Rock Edict that is in Sasaram, then Barabar Caves that is in Jahanabad district, Loria Nandangad Pillar that is in West Champaran, Loria Ariraj that is in East Champaran, Rampurwa is also in West Champaran. Then conclusion. Thus, in the light of the above description, it can be concluded that the art of the Maurya period was not only full of various dimensions, but also rich and unique in its imagination, sculptural and scientific method, and creativity. Maurya art is visible in the areas of royal life and ordinary life. While on one hand there are centralized poetical elements in the basic system, on the other hand components of ordinary public life are also visible. In fact, various forms of Maurya art, architecture, and sculpture were organized and expanded, but the art also included those fundamental elements which were continuously developed and organized in the years to come and became the symptoms of development of art tradition and culture of Bihar and India. It is still relevant as the lion capital of Ashoka is placed on the roof of the new parliament building of India. So that's it related to the Mauryan Empire topic. So we have successfully finished the Mauryan art topic. So thank you.